Look at that, it's pretty big, man, you see?
Of Lisbon. The old Lisbon is on the other side. Statue of Jesus, similar to the one that you see or you have seen in the movies.
Three images here to describe Jesus. Only one of you. Very familiar with one, isn't it? What is the image that you often are familiar with? As a shepherd, okay? The promise that was made is for you and your children, and for all those who are...
He had not done anything wrong, and there had been no perjury in his mouth.
In an area of 2,800 square kilometers. Well, and as you will see, Lisbon is, since ever, the most important commercial city in Portugal. Why? Because of its geographical position. Lisbon is in fact very well situated with the biggest river mouth in Europe, with the biggest river, a building that was...
The image that we often are familiar with. As a shepherd, okay? The promise that was made is for you and your children, and for all those who are...
He had not done anything wrong, and there had been no perjury in his mouth.
in an area of 2,800 square kilometers. Well, and as you will see, Lisbon is, since ever, the most important commercial city in Portugal. Why? Because of its geographical position. Lisbon is in fact very well situated with the biggest river mouth in Europe, with the biggest river, a building that was built in the beginning of the 20th century, although it's quite inspired in the Moorish style, so Northern African style. It is today transformed not only, it's not only for bullfightings, but also for concerts. This aqueduct is in the Guinness Book of Records for having the biggest ogival stone arch in the world, with 65 meters high. We will pass under it in a few moments. The aqueduct is a masterpiece of our engineering. Why? Because it was built 5 years before the biggest catastrophe that happened in Lisbon, the earthquake of 1755, an earthquake that devastated practically all the center of Lisbon, but in the case of the aqueduct, it resisted this huge and massive destruction. I don't know if you know, but the river Tagus, the river in Lisbon, is salted due to the proximity of the Atlantic Ocean. That was the reason why it was so important to build an aqueduct bringing water from outside. So this is the biggest arch in the world, the biggest stone arch in the world. We are crossing now. So you know already we were living a dictatorship in those days, until 74. In 1974, there was a revolution that happened on the 25th of April. All the names of the things that were somehow connected with the old regime passed the names connected with the revolution. And this is a good example. The bridge, the original name of the bridge was Bridge Salazar. Nowadays, no one calls it Salazar. Everyone calls it 25th of April because of the democratic revolution. It's the king. Can you see it? Yeah. We will see it again, okay? Don't worry, we will see it again. You had the opportunity to take some pictures of it, okay? So, the copy of Cristo Redentor in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a monument with 110 meters high. Cerejeira, he was the cardinal of our people that come every day to Lisbon from the other bank to work. It's a museum now, and this marks the entrance of Belém. So we are arriving already to Belém.
All right.
Of our history. First, Vasco da Gama, on your right hand side, that found the seaway part to India in 1498. We will come closer. That is two. That is two. So this is Vasco da Gama. The tomb of Vasco da Gama. He became a vice king of India, so he represented the Portuguese king in India. He died there, and then his body came to his hometown in the south of the country. Only in the 19th century, people decided to bring his bones already to this church, because this was one of the most important Catholic churches in the country, and that was the reason why he was brought here. This church is used as a pantheon. Okay, so very important place where we put the most important tombs of the most important people in our country. So we have Vasco da Gama. He was the man that opened the modern world to the whole world. He doubled the name of people, proving that the world was round, proving that it was possible to drive to India with a ship.
Das ist der Mann, wie ich sehe. Mann, ein Übergang von der
when I was in Ipoh, I was trying to find a church to go when I was there for really prayers and my little girl told me, the minute I said, oh, we said it twice. We didn't know St. Michael is not a Catholic.
Here in 1922 with two Portuguese pilots called Gago Coutinho and Sacadura Cabral to make the first aerial connection between Europe, so Lisbon, and the South American continent, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It was the first time that the South Atlantic was crossed with an airplane, and this was the place from where they departed. Right by that monument in front of you. It's called Monument to the Discoveries. And there we have 33 statues of people that were somehow connected with that epopee. It's a building built in 1960 to celebrate the birth of Henry the Navigator. Henry the Navigator is considered to be the brain, the head of the first voyages of discoveries. He was the one that brought many scientists, mathematicians, astronomers, astrologers, etc. So he got surrounded from the best to trace the new routes that the Portuguese would follow in the years after. Well, the monument was built by Salazar